Today I wanted to come on and do a video about what my favorite layout is in Thomas Nelson's New King James Version Bibles. And the reason that I chose to do this video is because I always talk about how much I love the New King James Version comfort print. It's really easy on the eye and I really enjoy reading it for long periods of time because it's just so easy to read. So I thought I would come on here and just compare 4 different Bibles in the New King James Version and just talk about my favorite layout out of the 4 and just briefly what I like about each one. I'm not going to do a complete full review of these Bibles because I did post a review for each of those, but I'll make sure I post my review links for each one in the description in case you want more information about any of the particular Bibles that I show. So let's go through these here. The first one that I have here is the New King James Version large print thin line reference. Now this was out in the McLaren series, and a similar text block is out in just the it's just the large print thin line reference, and it's not part of the McLaren series. And I'll show you in a second what the difference of that and those are. But this one's going to be a 10-point font, and it is going to have, well, I'll just say it has the words of Christ in blue, whereas the other large print thin line did not. There was black letters, so it didn't have the words of Christ in blue. They were just all in black. And I've reviewed that one as well. It was a long time ago, so I'll have to look back and see if I can post that review as well. And if I do, please excuse how awful it probably is, because it was recorded like one of my first videos. So anyway, this one is the black genuine leather, and this is the one from the McLaren series, like I said before. What I like about this one is the blue accents. It's double column layout, it's a 10-point font, and I love that nice, bold New King James Version comfort print, and the blue letter I think is very unique. You can't see it as well, I don't think, on camera, but hopefully you can see there. I'm a black letter person, I prefer that over red letter, but if I had to have it in a different color, I think I like this blue letter a little better than red letter. In fact, I definitely do. I think it's easier on the eye, just in my opinion. So that's what I like about this one. The next one that I have here, excuse my table shaking as I grab boxes here, this is the New King James Version single column verse-by-verse reference Bible. This one just came out fairly recently from Thomas Nelson. Find room for all these boxes here. So what I like about this one is it's single column, because I really do love single column Bibles. And I like that the references are on the inner margin, because sometimes Bibles that have those references out here in that outer margin, it tends to push the text of the scripture into the gutter a little bit. So I would rather the scripture be out here and the references be in the gutter more, because I'm going to use the scripture and read the scripture a lot more than I'm going to use the references. So I like that. It is red letter, but it's pretty well done. Thomas Nelson does a good job with the red letter. I would change that about this Bible if I could, just because it's my own personal preference. But I like that it is that single column layout. This one's verse by verse. I'm just checking on the size of the font. It's 9-point font. So we had 9-point font in this one, 10-point font in the large print thin line reference. So that's what I like about that one. The next one that I chose here is the New King James Version large print reference McLaren series. And this one is going to be a 10.5 size font. I have this in genuine leather. All of these come in different cover options. The last one I showed you was a genuine leather as well. But they all come in, there's some imitation leather options, there's Premier Collection, so that you have to look those up. There's several good options and covers there depending on what you're looking for. This one I think is so readable. Hold on, my daughter's playing with Play-Doh and it's shaking the entire table. Anyway, so this is a double column layout. I like that it has the verse numbers in blue. It is verse by verse. Chapter numbers and headings are in blue as well. References are at the bottom of the page. So I think this is just a really nice readable Bible, especially if you like that double column layout. And the New Testament here, you're going to see it is black letter, so I like that as well. Okay, so that is that one. The next one is one I've had for a long time. This is the New King James Version Single Column Reference Bible, and this is in the Premier Collection. So let's slide this out of here. This one, I think it's a 10.5. 10.5 size font. So these are all fairly similar. The thin line was 10. This one is 10.5. The McLaren verse by verse is 10.5. And then the single column verse by verse was 9.5? No, 9. So they're fairly similar. I love this one. I've had this one for a long time. I've used it a lot. So it's loosened up a little bit. So yeah, text does kind of run towards the gutter a little bit because you have these references in the outer margin. That's literally the only thing I could think about of this Bible that I don't want to say I don't like it. I mean, it's not like, it doesn't bother me or anything, but if I had to change one thing, that's what it would be. This one has red accents for the chapter numbers and headings. Single column, obviously, like we said, it's a 10.5 size font, and it is a black letter text. And it's just such a readable Bible. This Bible makes a really good reader. It is thick, you know, a little heavier, but I don't mind holding it. It's a great size. I've even carried it along with me to church in my Bible case before. So being it's single column, it is a little bigger, but that doesn't bother me at all. So which one is my favorite now is the question that I would probably get asked here. So I'm going to have to go with the one that I've had and used the longest. That is the Single Column Reference Bible. This is paragraph layout. I think I forgot to say that. It's not verse by verse, but I just love this one for reading. It's so like nice and bold font, and I like the single column, and I just think it's one of the most readable Bibles that I have. And I have pretty many Bibles, and I've had access to pretty many Bibles. So that's saying a lot. I really, really like this one. Literally, like I said, the only thing I would change about it is to pull the references out from the outer margin and put them on the inner margin just so scripture doesn't run into the gutter at all. But it's never bothered me while I was reading this Bible, and I just think it's the best, in my opinion, of course, the best layout for the New King James Version Bibles that I've seen from Thomas Nelson. So I really love that one. It stays my favorite. Now, between these, it's pretty hard for me to decide. I would probably go with the thin line just because it's so different. So if I didn't want to use my New King James Version single column that I just showed you, it would probably be because of the thickness. Maybe I wanted something smaller to carry. So then I would probably go with the thin line. Again, I love the blue accents in this one. I like that it's blue letter. I think that's unique. I took this one with me on vacation last year because I wanted something thinner and smaller to take along. So this is a great Bible as well, and one that I would put in I would put that probably at number 2. The McLaren verse by verse, it's close between the two of them. Like I said, I would probably go with a thin line if I wanted something smaller to carry. And if I wanted a double column and I didn't mind the size, then I would probably go with this one. This is just such a nice, again, it's just so easy to read. I keep saying that, but I really love the New King James Version comfort print. That's probably what drew me into this version of the Bible the most, is just this comfort print and how easy it was on my eyes. I do get headaches sometimes. I wear glasses all the time, so I mean, I have that going on. My vision's not terrible or anything, especially that I have glasses to help me out with that. But this is just really easy on my eyes and easy in general for me to read for long periods of time. So that's why I like it. So that one's a close, I don't know, it's almost a tie between that and the thin line. Like I said, it just depends on what size I'm willing to carry with me. And then, not to discredit this one either, this is a great Bible too. These are my top 4 Bibles in the New King James Version for layout and readability. So I'm not discounting this one at all or discrediting it. I really like the verse by verse. It's easy. If I would probably use this one if I was following, you know, at home with like a sermon online or something, I might use this one because it's easier to find the, you know, the references. It's a nice size. So I like that about it as well. Not a huge fan of the red letter, but it's not a deal breaker for me. I like the way this one feels in the hand. The genuine leather is really nice. Like I said, there's some other cover options as well. The gilding's really cool in this one too. So all in all, really great Bible. So those are my 4 choices from the New King James Version Bibles from Thomas Nelson and what my favorite layouts are. And I would love to hear what your favorite layout is. If you have any of these Bibles or if you have a different contender that maybe I didn't bring up here today, I would love to hear about that as well.